Hey folks, I want to talk to you a minute today about something that I pay attention to this time of year and on into the summer months. And for our area, the Seadrift area, it's very common, and it's false currents or wind-driven currents. These are not like your predicted tidal movements for the day. They do have, it is water movement, but it takes certain triggers, and that may be a wind shift or wind increase in speed, and these occur around small points or maybe little guts, drains coming out of the back marsh into the bay, guts in reefs, bends in reefs, or simply the points of the reef itself. Now, one may ask, well, how do you find these, or how do you know what to look for? And it's simply, water movement. And so anytime you have water movement, you're going to have maybe some ripples or some wave action kind of going against the grain or across the grain. And what I mean by that is, you may have a steady southeast wind, and then you're going to have current, coming across that, or you'll see waves look like they're going the wrong direction. They're going upwind, so to speak. And those are those little areas of these false currents. They can be a very fishy area, especially if you have the right ingredients. If you see one of these areas with false current and you see a bunch of bait piled up in it, or you seeing the little mullet flipping here and there and stuff like that, chances are you're going to have some predator fish, trout and redfish, and even flounder for that instance, for that case, in these areas. Now, these areas might not be very big, so it's not one of those deals where you're able to jump out of the boat and take off walking and cover a lot of ground. These are kind of more specifically these areas that you ease up to, fishing the edge of it, and then ease up to the middle, to where you can cast to the middle of it and just stand there, keeping your baits, keeping your plastics or top waters or whatever you're throwing in that water movement, in that false current, and they're kind of quick, kind of fun to fish sometimes, because if those fish are there, you should know it in a matter of minutes, really. And so not necessarily are you having to spend a lot of time working that area over. Like I said, again, they're not that big, but a lot of that stems from earlier discussions, previous discussions that we've had. A lot of that stems from being able to read the water. And I think once you pick up on that, once you see those little currents, take mental note of where they were. Were they on shell? Were they on a shoreline? Take note of the bottom. What was there? What was creating that little current? It's a difference in the bottom, or difference in the shoreline that produces those. And anytime we're fishing, we're looking for those differences. Again, whether it be a bend in the shoreline or bend in the reef, end of a reef, a specific gut, there are differences. And anytime you can find a difference across a bay system, chances are you're gonna produce some fish, or you'll pull some fish out of it. So I hope this tip helps. Again, once you see them, once you start identifying them, you'll kind of go, man, I didn't know what those were at first, or I didn't know what those were years ago. And jump out and fish them, but take note of where you're seeing these happen. Take note of the bottom, and I think it'll help. I think it'll improve your game. So y'all be safe this weekend. We got Good Friday today, and got Easter weekend coming up. I imagine there'll be a few folks out on the water, but y'all just be safe, be courteous to one another. All right, thanks.